Good morning, is it from Zetster's Lab? Again, this morning, as I was busy on Instagram, putting my latest painting, I call it On Fire. You can read the story behind it on my Instagram page, Zetster's Lab. And as I was posting it, I just got this message that I would love to share with you. You know, I've started this new art in my art journey. I started playing with alcohol inks. Now let me tell you everything I've known about art. I mean, I work with acrylics and all other mediums. And then I saw an advert and I went for a little course on alcohol inks. And I must admit it is a crazy medium. No matter how hard I try, I've got this idea, I get the idea, and then I start to paint, play with the inks, and then it just does not work as planned. I mean, you put a little drop of ink on and with alcohol and it just runs all over the place. Then I try to add something else, and when you put a drop on what's already been done, that drop replaces everything. I mean, you must just go and look at all the YouTube videos about alcohol inks. It really is crazy. And as I was writing about this, I just realized alcohol inks is really like life. I mean, you grow up and as a youngster, and then you get to your teenage stage and early 20s, and you have this idea of how your life is going to turn out. I mean, really, you've got this idea, and then life starts to happen, and your life, shocking, but it does not turn out as you plan. And then you try to salvage it. You try to save it, let's say. You try to save your life. You try to get your life to turn out as you planned. And the more you try, the more it goes haywire. It's just crazy. It becomes a mess. The more you try to fix it, fix your life, the more it becomes a mess. Until you get to that place later on, it takes time, these things. And then later on, you get to that stage where you give up. I mean, you're broken and you just give up trying to get your life to turn out as you plan, and you just learn to go with the flow of what is actually happening. So you make peace with your journey and with your life. You make peace with how your life is actually turning out, and you learn to appreciate and go with what is actually happening instead of permanently trying to fix and change what is happening, because you've learned that does no longer work. It's not working. So you either let go, make peace with your journey, with what is happening, and learn to go with the flow as life unfolds day by day, minute by minute, or you keep fighting. That's the only choice you actually have. Keep fighting what life is, how your life is unfolding, or making peace with it and just learn to go with it. So this is my journey with the alcohol inks. So I start with an idea, and then I've now come to the place where I'm learning to just go with the flow. I mean, with this painting, I started off with a landscape. I tried to do the flowers, and you know, I love landscape. I love flowers and trees and landscapes, and so I tried to do it with alcohol inks because, you know, I want to learn and I want to try my own style. So I tried it. Oh, it did not work. Let me tell you, it became this huge mess. So later on I said, okay, let me go with my flowers. You know me, I love creating flowers. And the thing became so messy. I mean, there was so much ink on, because as you put your inks on, there are coloring inside the alcohol, so that coloring stays. But I made so many layers. There became so much layers that it was so thick and so tacky that I had to go and wash it at one stage, because with alcohol inks you work on a plastic paper. It's kind of plastic because it needs to really be able to flow. So no absorbent paper works. So at one stage I was so desperate, I said, I'm going to throw this away. But that's one thing of me. I cannot throw it away. I need to keep going until I love it. So I went and I washed it in the water in the basin, and I got all the extra ink off. And then you should see all the beautiful textures of the silver and the gold at the back. And I even wiped some pieces clean with some more alcohol, and that is now my light pieces there. It was all colored in ink and flowers. And then I looked at it and I saw I need to put in some trees. And when I put in my trees, it became this forest, and this magical forest. And that's life. Life becomes magical when you start to accept what is actually happening. When you start to make peace with your journey, and you start to look for the magic in everything, life becomes magical. But when you keep trying, you've got this idea of how your life and your children's lives and other people's lives are supposed to happen, unfold, and when that doesn't happen, you become angry, upset, resentful, depressed, name it. And you name and blame everybody else, yourself included, other people, the devil, name it. And you become an angry person because life doesn't turn out as you really believe, and want it to turn out. And then you, as I say, you grow to that stage where you have to make peace with your journey. Either stay angry or make peace that life is never going to unfold as you planned. And the minute you make peace with it, and the minute you start to walk, that is the main thing. You've got to learn. I've learned these things over the years through trial and error and many tears. I've learned to make peace with what is happening in my life. And I've learned to start appreciating what I have instead of always wanting what I don't have. So I started to concentrate on what I do have, and I start to be thankful and appreciate what I do have. And then I'm starting to learn to go with the flow of the life in me, and it's unfolding. The same as I am now learning with these alcohol inks to go with the flow, to see what is unfolding, and then to be there in the moment. So you learn to let go, You learn to make peace with what is happening, and then you learn in your life to be present in what is happening in this moment, because that is where life is. Life flows through us all over in this moment. So the only place that you will ever find the abundant life is in this moment. And when you start to live in this moment and start to appreciate what you have in this moment, then you start to see the magic. You start to see the beauty. You start to see the power. And you become peaceful, at ease with what is happening. Peaceful. You start to manifest the unconditional love that you are in spirit, because you realize, oh well, I'm not in control. My kids are not in control. My husband is not even my boss. The life in us, the life, abundant life, knows the way. It wants to go. I really do not know which way these inks want to go. So I had to make peace with not knowing. I had to make peace also in my life with realizing I am not in control. The only control that I ever have is my reaction to what is happening. That is my only power. The only power that I have is my reaction to what is happening. Will I accept it and say, oh well, this is now it, this is happening, so I am in this moment, I've got what it takes to live in this moment, to do what I have to do in this moment. So I'm not going to worry about tomorrow or the 5-year plan or the 10-year plan. I'm just going to live and savor this moment, because the abundant life in me is flowing in this moment. So now it is providing me with whatever I need to get through this moment. Whatever situation I find myself in this moment, I have the power inside of me to get me victoriously through this moment. And victoriously mean experiencing peace and joy, power and wisdom and love now. And isn't that what life is all about? Experiencing these abundant emotions, call it that. I don't know what to call it, but I'm going to look back on my life and what am I going to see? Did I experience peace and joy in the midst of what I was going through? Did I experience love? Or was I angry and resentful? And to me, that is success, is just experiencing peace and joy in this moment, whatever may be happening in my life. Because believe you me, like with these inks, it is up and down, and life is like a roller coaster with ups and downs. And my desire is to experience peace and joy no matter what happens in my life, because I don't have any control of what is happening. Like my husband tearing his Achilles tendon, and now we cannot fly and visit the kids. I had no control over that. The only control I have is how I react to my reaction to what is happening. So am I now resentful, angry, blaming the poor neighbor whose car broke down and hubby went to push? He went to help the neighbor to push his broken car out of the road. So I laughed and I said, the moral of the story is do not help your neighbors. But that is not the moral of the story. The moral of the story is things happen. And instead of judging always it as good as bad. I don't know why it happened. It's not my place to know that. But I trust the abundant life in me and you and my husband and everybody else, because there's a bigger picture that I do not understand. So instead of trying to understand it, I'm making peace. It's not easy. I did cry. I did throw a lot of tantrums, but every time I needed to get back to what is more important to me, finding my peace and joy in this moment, or being angry because life is not turning out my way. I would have been with the kids now, visiting them in Thailand. But that wasn't the plan of the life in me. Otherwise, I would have been there. The plan was to be here and making this video with you in this moment. So do I accept that by making peace and joy, peace with that, with what is happening in my life? Or not? That's my only choice. So I choose life. I choose to walk with the abundant life in me, who is guiding me, leading me, providing for me whatever I need to get victoriously through. Victoriously for me means experiencing peace and joy in this moment, and the strength and the power to be able to get through this moment. Or not. So I choose life. What do you choose? One thing, make peace with your life's not gonna turn out as you want or believe it should, and to find the joy and the beauty and the magic in every moment. Thank you that I can share my journey with you. I thought I'm going to play and show a little bit of these things, but I just thought. Thank you. So if you want to start doing art, these alcohol inks is actually the way to go, because they're going to loosen you up. Because all you have to do, let me quickly show you. Let's do one. Let me start with one. All you have to do, I can see you can't really see a lot. So this is my alcohol. So I am just really spurting it onto this paper. You can see it's there. And then, I love my ambers. So I'm just taking this and I just make a drop there. So now you can see. And then I'm going to, let's say, drop a little bit of greens to make some greeneries, or I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just playing. And then you I add some yellow. And then you have this little thing and you just start blowing. And can you see what's happening? There's things happening. Leaves are forming. I don't know what is forming. And then you just keep going. And the thing is, now I put down some green, but there must have been blue in the green, the pigments. So now they're starting, blues are starting to develop there. And you see, so you just blow and it just, things happen. And then you can add a little bit of, I've got these silvers and these golds, so I just add some of them. I don't know what I'm doing, I don't care, and I am just blowing. And now these golds are making these beautiful things. But now this is me. What do I see? What do I love? It's flowers. So immediately I am busy with just forming some loose flowers. So this is it. So get yourself some alcohol inks and start playing. Why not? And see what happens. And let that teaches you about how to experience the freedom that is in life. Z from Z's Lab. Love you lots.